Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Unscripted Sports Podcast. And we're brought to you by BS3 Radio with Spreaker and Northeast Streaming Sports. One great news we have today is that we have just hit 1,000 followers on our Facebook page.
All right.
Hey, let's go. Round of applause to everyone.
So we want to say a big thank you to all of our viewers and the people who are commenting and hanging with us on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays. Make sure you're always commenting. We love to have the interaction on the show. Like and share our page. We're also on YouTube. If you're looking for us there, look for us under Unscripted. And any of these guys, Jay McLovin, Logan Landers, Big Shaw, and you can find our shows plus all the other stuff these guys are doing out there. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. I'm Melanie, your moderator for this evening. Our analysts tonight are Jay McLovin.
Hey, what's up, H-Town?
Logan Landers.
What up, everybody? Thank y'all for the 1,000 likes and follows on our Facebook. Appreciate the love.
And Big Shaw.
What's up, everybody?
All right, guys, y'all ready to get started?
Let's do it, Melanie.
All right, let's do it.
All right, our first topic tonight is the NFL getting soft? Big Shaw, you got an opinion on that one?
Is the NFL getting soft? It's a yes and a no because they got to do the safety stuff and all that. You know, you can't hit them like you used to hit them. You can't knock their heads off no more. But then, hell yeah, it's getting soft. It's getting soft. It's getting soft every damn day. Every time you play, I tried to be nice. I tried to be smart, but nah, the NFL is getting soft. You know, it's been soft like you said in 2008. I think they've been soft before 2008. You know, you can't even hit these guys no more. You can't even hit them. You can barely touch them. If you do this. If you blow on them, it's going to be 15 yards. That's why nobody watched the NFL as much. It's not because of the flag. Nobody watched the NFL as much, because of that reason. I don't want to sit down and watch a 4-hour game, supposed to be 2 or 3 hours. Then it go to 5 hours because they keep throwing flags over everything. It's some of these plays, man. I've seen. I don't see where they be calling these flags in. I don't understand why they do it. Let these guys play. Stop throwing these stupid flags. If you're gonna keep throwing flags, might as well go get flag football. Y'all know it's not enough, folks.
That's true, though.
Enough, folks. Y'all knew it was a violent sport. So all this concussion, man, all this stuff, man, y'all knew it before y'all signed up. Nobody told y'all first y'all throw on the helmet and go play football. Y'all knew this was a violent sport. Now y'all making it like Pee-wee football. Pee-wee football. And you wonder why nobody, really watch at home. But now if you go to a real NFL game experience, your mind may change. But I've been to some NFL games, and I ain't gonna lie. The experience is fun. People I'm telling you, they not there to watch the game. They there to drink beer and eat food and get fat and maybe watch Tom Brady or a big name play so they can say, oh, I saw Tom Brady. Oh, I saw Dalvin Cook. I saw Derrick Henry. You really think they're going to watch the game? No. They're going to watch the game to have fun and get away from their wife, from all their nagging. They're going to have fun. They're not going to watch the game. They're going there to watch the big names. The NFL is soft. It's soft, Frankie. They soft. I'm done talking.
To get away from their wives. All right, Logan, what do you think?
Shaw, just go off what you said. Big hit with the ladies there, my man. I know you got all of them on you. And Shaw's got to shoo them away. I know that. But, yeah, I'm with you, Shaw. I do think the league is getting softer year by year, seemingly. I do think that the referees and the penalty flags that are being thrown way too often, we see seemingly every single game, arrogant flag being thrown for pass interference, where it's just like the guy barely touched him, or the one that's more, I would say, more prevalent is the late hits on the quarterback, which are usually, for the most time, bang bang plays that you could chalk up as, well, what is he going to do? Now I do like what they've done with like the targeting rule stuff, because I mean head injuries are a bad cause in the NFL, so I do like that they've kind of tried to clean that up a little bit. But I mean, like you said, Shaw, back in the day in the 70s and 80s, guys were getting clothesline and stuff, man. They were slamming people all over the field. And now you just think, no, that's not really happening anymore. I mean, you see a few big hits every here and there. That'll knock a guy out or take him to the hospital with a broke leg. But you don't see that nearly as much anymore. You see a lot more, I'd say, safer tackling, and that's just due to the fact that the players can't tackle using their heads anymore. They got to tackle with their arms. They got to tackle with their shoulders and using their legs and everything. So they can't use their head as a blunt force object anymore. So I do think that the league is getting softer. But they are putting an emphasis on safety, which, as we've seen over the past couple of years, all the CT stuff is very important. But overall, I'd say kind of the fun of the league is going down, because another thing too, right, is we see guys try and show some creativity, try to market themselves. They put stuff on their cleats to either for remembrance of loved ones or for just some creativity, to show some of their personality. And they fined them $15,000 for wearing cleats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they did.
Like, what is wearing a pair of cleats going to do to hurt the NFL's billion-dollar industry? You know what I mean? So,
and they don't even have health insurance,
right? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, the NFL overall, it is getting softer year by year. I mean, they have a lot of electric players, no doubt. They have a lot of guys that have a whole lot of talent on every single team, seemingly now, but overall, just in general, it's not as violent as it used to be. Of course, you're not going to see as many hard hits. You're going to see a lot more kind of like crafty moves, right? You're not going to see like a Jerome Bettis type really anymore, or like too many Derrick Henrys just running through people, getting down and dirty and all stuff like that. You're going to see guys juking and spinning out people more. Mm-hmm. And that's just how the league's progressed, honestly. And so overall, just to wrap things up, I'm with you, Shaw. I do think that the NFL is getting softer. But hey, we might get a renaissance of it here in about 5 or so years, because trends always do end up coming back. So you never know.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jay.
Frankie. First of all, Frankie David Jr., I got my hair cut finally because my wife said she was tired of watching me wear hats. So I finally got my hair styled up. It's looking pretty fly. I got it nice and edged. Nice line job. It turned out well, I think.
Yeah.
Clay Matthews said it best. The NFL is getting soft. Rubber the passer has gotten out of freaking hand. It really has. Clay Matthews has been hit numerous times when he played with the Green Bay Packers for rushing the passer. I mean, that guy was getting hit with it all the time. And it's just ridiculous. When you go to a football game, nobody gives a damn. I mean, nobody cares about, all this crazy tic-tac stuff. We want to see the hard hits. We want to see the ball thrown deep. And that's what we pay our hard-earned money for. Football is a game of men and or women. If you want to play football and you can take a hit, what it is, we take hits. Now they want to make it all soft. Now they want to put all these little restrictions on the kicker, put the restrictions on the quarterback. They got to where now they might well put the damn red jersey on the quarterback and say no hit policy.
It's like that sometimes. It is.
Yeah. This stuff, hey Logan, this stuff came about because all those concussions when they first started coming out, and when Junior Seau came out and had all the issues with his CTE in his head. I get it, man. But damn, you're making a game not what the game was supposed to be. You're just not. We got roughing the passer now. We got hit with the crown of the helmet outside. Remember when the running back could lower his head to plow through somebody? Jerome Bettis was the best at it. Yeah, can't do it anymore.
No,
you can't. They almost did it.
There's got to be a way they can fix it, though. There's got to be I'm sure they can make some type of helmet that's like secure, like got a lot of padding or something. You know what I mean? They've got to be able to do something like that. I think.
But even if they can't, listen, guy, you're getting paid hundreds of millions of freaking dollars. Shut up. Just shut up. Play the game because we want to see that. That's what our money's going for. You're making so much damn money. Well, hey, there's a price you pay when you make hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, come on. Hit the mug. I can't say what I really want to say, but hit him. Can you imagine there's no steel curtain anymore. You can't be a steel curtain because if you be a steel curtain, then they're gonna hit you with all these penalties. So now what do we got? We got a fabric curtain. We're from steel to being fabric. It's fabric. That's what it is. Did you get a little small tear in it, and it's all over with? Mm-hmm. Then you got, like I said, I don't know, man. NFL says they're trying to make the game safer, but yet they're trying to stretch the season out to 18 games. Now, what the hell kind of sense does that make?
That don't make no sense to me.
You want to make it safer, but you're stretching the season out 18 damn games, plus the playoffs.
Yeah. That's way too much. They don't need to make the season even longer. I think 16 is that's fine. That's what they've done forever now. They don't need to lengthen it. There's no need to.
Yeah.
I
remember when the safeties and the quarterbacks could launch themselves at the receivers to get them out. You can't even launch anymore because then you might possibly hit with the helmet.
What's the other one? The chop block. You can't do chop blocks anymore on the defensive offensive line.
You can't even do a horse collar. I like the horse collar. What's wrong with the horse collar?
I don't know what they say something with like their neck or something. I'm not too sure. It's been years since they took that out. I know, but
got some kind of effect. But come on now, listen. It's football. It's supposed to be rough. It's supposed to be manly. Like Shaw said, they're turning it into flag football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I'm gonna put up one more
football.
Right? Yeah, I'm gonna put up. Since you mentioned flags, I'm gonna throw something out there. Just another reason I think it is getting softer and softer is because you got either the players or the coaches. Every time a flag is thrown and you watch the replay and you see a guy clear as day doing something wrong, going to the refs and complaining about it.
Right.
It's not – I'd say basketball is the worst at it, but football is right there.
Yeah, it's not even the players. I don't even think it's really the players complaining about it. I think it's just the ownership and the league itself. I think they're the ones that are doing it. But, okay. Because my opinion is if there are, I don't think there are any players out there because I know Jerome Bettis came out, Ray Lewis came out, and several others came out and said this is ridiculous. We're not doing it. We're still going to play the way we play.
Right.
Because honestly, that's what, like I said, that's why they get paid the amount of money they get paid because it is a dangerous, violent sport, or it used to be. It used to be a dangerous, violent sport. Now, if you want to start taking that kind of stuff away and putting restrictions and this, that, and the other, well, then take the pay away from them because they used to be we got paid big money because we take big hits. But if you're not taking the big hits anymore, you really don't need the big money. I'm just saying. It makes, I could go on forever, man. But it's to me, it's just, that's not what I want. When I watch football, I want to see football. I don't want to see, like Shaw said, I don't want to see penalty-ridden flag football because I think it's stupid. Let the people play. That's what made the game so exciting when we all got into this thing. That's what made it so exciting for us.
Our boy Frankie's got a comment saying it's Jerry Jones's fault. Keep crying to all his players like Tony Romo were getting hurt too bad.
Man, Romo he's getting hit. He couldn't even hold the damn football right to kick a field goal.
He's good
Laces out, Dan.
He's good on the broadcast, though. I've seen him predict a lot of plays before. He's good in the broadcast booth. I'll give him that. Also, if you guys do want a fabric curtain T-shirt, we can draw one up and give it out for sale. If you guys want one, drop. Just say I want one in the comments, and we'll figure out a way to get one to you. How about that? We'll throw that one out there, Jay. You can get your own T-shirt, and we can get Shaw Trashometer. We'll figure out something for me and Mel. We'll get something going. We'll get our own T-shirt clothing line. How about that? All right, Mel. What's up next?
All right. What is the most unbreakable sports record of all time?
I got this. I'm going to take this one, fellas.
Yep, you got it, Logan.
Clear as day, 1,000%, never going to be beat. Rest of our lives, rest of our kids' lives, grandchildren's lives, eons and eons, thousands of years, that you're never going to be beat. Cal Ripken Jr., 2,632 games straight in the major leagues. That ain't going to happen. No one's ever going to play that long. No one's going to play that long without taking a day off now. That's never going to happen. Ain't no way. The closest it got in the last 30 years was Miguel Tejada back in 2000 from 2007. He played in 1,152 games. He was still over 1,000 games short. And I mean, hey, playing for 7 straight years is a phenomenal feat. That my hat is off to Miguel Tejada, the former MVP with the Oakland Athletics. But that's never going to be beat. Just the longevity, and you see, especially in baseball now, they're taking off days now for positions, and especially when Ripken played in the middle infield, really just everyone in the infield, honestly. That's a tough position because you have to condition your body every single day for 162 regular season games for I think it was 16 or 17 straight years from 82 to 98. So for 16 seasons, this guy was healthy as a horse. Every offseason, he treated his body like a temple. And I'm sure he went to the trainer multiple times a day to get any nagging injuries out the way. But I don't think that's ever going to be beat just with how much injuries are going up more and more now. And just with guys taking more off days in baseball, I don't see that one ever being beat. So my most unbreakable sports record goes off to Cal Ripken Jr. with his games played in a row streak.
Yeah.
All right, Shaw. What's your most unbreakable sports record?
Joe DiMaggio.
That ain't gonna be beat.
I know he had a lot of them, but ain't nobody gonna break them. You ain't gonna break that record. You ain't gonna break his. I'm sorry. Oh no. It's like Cal Ripken saying nobody gonna break them two records. I promise you that. We're gonna be dead in the grave by the time somebody beat that. You gotta come out guns blazing to beat them records. And you gotta be healthy. You gotta be on top of your game. You better come in and in the league at 16 and start cutting up because you're not gonna beat them records.
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. Those are very good records that probably, like you said, won't get beat.
Yeah, sure. And I'm looking it up here, and they're just DiMaggio, the 56 game hitting streak, which is absolutely insane. The closest it's gotten since I was going to go with the 2000s, so over 20 years now, was Jimmy Rollins back in 05-06. He got 38, which is really good. That's solid. That's real good.
But he ain't come.
No, but he was still about 20 games short. So
yeah,
that ain't going to get beaten either. I'm with you on that, Shaw. Baseball, you could do a lot of baseball ones for this, honestly, because baseball, man, those guys when they first started out, I don't know what they were on, but they were just absolutely freaking phenomenal. Like you said, with the DiMaggios and Ted Williams and all those kind of guys just hitting the cover off the ball. But that's a good one, Shaw. I like that. Keep it on the baseball side.
All right, Jay.
Hey, first off, Big Ben Suttereth, man.
Yes,
appreciate you guys. Appreciate you for tuning in, brother. You're a steady one right up there with Frankie David and Joe Bradley. Always faithful to chime in. Appreciate you. So, I was torn, right? I'm torn between two, right? Very, very torn because I can see equally both of them being hard. So I'm just going to say two, and I'll make it real quick. My first one I think that's not ever going to get broken is Jack Nicklaus's 18 majors. Tiger came close. He's sitting at about 14 right now, but Tiger's about 43 years old, almost 44, and he is a select tournament player because of all the injuries that back is taken. And I honestly don't think he's going to get 4 majors in the next few years because golf is, the longest a golfer will play is generally about 50 is when they go to the senior PGA. We're trying to get 18 majors where he's about 3 or 4 shy. That's going to be not. And if nobody like Tiger Woods could break it, and nobody's broken it since then. I mean, this record's gone on since the dawn of time, and it's still nobody's even going to come close to this thing. So I don't see number one. I don't see Jack Nicklaus's PGA tournament record of 18 majors getting broke. The second one, and I covered this on Greatest Sports Teams, was the Boston Celtics 8 consecutive NBA championships.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I'm not
Hey, no way.
Come out and is it physically possible? I mean, yeah, you can play 8 consecutive times and do it, but it ain't gonna happen.
It's hard enough to get there 8 times, let alone win it 8 times,
Right. The closest one that came to it was Michael Jordan. And
I
think Michael Jordan would have had 6 consecutive, but he took time out to go play baseball. But I think if Michael Jordan would have kept playing, I think he could have walked away maybe 6, maybe even 7. But that didn't happen. And if the Jordan-led Bulls, and how great that team is, if the Phil Jackson-led Kobe Bryant Lakers couldn't do it, ain't no way in hell Bron going to do it at 36.
Nope.
No.
So, I mean, if these great, powerful teams couldn't achieve it, I don't see anybody touching that Celtics 1960s version, Bill Russell-led, Aaron Auerbach coached Celtics team will not be broken. I promise you. So Nicholas's record, Celtics record, not even arguably. Those won't be broken. I promise you.
Nope. I don't see it ever. It's crazy. Like it's crazy how like kind of old these records are. You know what I mean? Like how long they've stood the test of time.
Both these records are older than both of these records are older than all of us on this TV screen.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it just tells you how long these records have been out there.
Mm-hmm. Just how hard they are to beat too.
Ain't no way. There's no way that anybody like you said with Cal Ripken and what DiMaggio did. There's no way the records are getting broke. People just don't last that long physically.
Right, and like you said with Nicholas, like Tiger he was a once in a generation type of golfer, right? And he was hot as fire back when he was doing his thing back when he first came on the scene with golf. But unfortunately, he had some legal issues, some marital issues, and then he had some injuries that just kind of derailed his career. I'd say probably the last 10 some odd years. If it wasn't for that, if he's the back injury too, like you said,
him.
If he would have stayed healthy, he might have done it. Honestly, if he would have stayed healthy,
the marital issues, the legal issues, he would have overcame that.
Right,
but right. Back, man, when your back goes, I mean, the golf swing in and of itself is a violent motion.
Yeah.
And then when you take out the major cog in that violent motion, how the hell are you going to drive it with power or do anything else with it?
Yeah, you got a good point.
That's crazy.
You got a good point. All right, Mel, what's our next topic for tonight?
Next topic. What if USC beat Texas in the 2006 Rose Bowl? Jay, you want that one?
Yeah. What if USC? Well, if they would have beat it, Pete Carroll would have had him an NCAA title and a Super Bowl. Yep. Yeah. If you watch that game, man, it seemed like USC was gonna win that thing. Somehow or another, Vince Young just pulled off the most miracle comeback ever, and he basically wheeled and ran that team to success. But what would have happened? I guess that would have been a huge damper on Texas because Texas hasn't done anything since Vince Young left in terms of the getting back to the NCAA title game anyway. So it would have had an impact for sure on the Texas program. Probably would have had some conditions on their recruiting, but like Shaw always says, man, they've been trashed since day one, other than when that 1 year when Vince Young played with them. Unfortunately, I'm a Longhorns fan, tried and true, but I can call it when I call it, and I can be unbiased about it and say that defining moment when Texas beat them, that was Texas's defining moment. And unfortunately, USC came up short in that one. Oh, Matt Leinart didn't do anything anyway. Matt Leinart went out to Arizona, and then his career just died. Yep. But then again, Vince Young went to Tennessee and became a head case, and he died. So neither one of these guys amounted to anything after that one game. So obviously it meant a lot to Vince Young, and it was devastating to Matt Leinart. But at the end of the day, it just is what it was.
All right, Shaw, what do you think?
It was a great game. Man, it was a great game. I'll tell you that. I think that game, gotta be the top 10, top 20 game. I watched it. Yeah. Actually, I was going for USC. I didn't like Texas. I didn't like Vince Young. But I will say this, though. It wasn't Vince Young's fault in Tennessee. The head coach didn't know how to coach him. He went into a bad spot. Everybody know Vince Young could play. But the coach didn't want him. He even said it after he retired, I think, or left. He didn't want Vince Young. So Vince Young act the way he should act. But I wish Vince Young would have had a great NFL career. But anyway, back to that game, that was a good game. It was a lot of superstars on that field. Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, he was a bum, but he was trash after he got drafted. Reggie Bush, he didn't have all that stellar NFL career. He would just put money in the seat, booties in the seat. That's all he was doing. And I remember when he got his head knocked off. I don't know who hit him.
Yeah, I know the play. I remember who hit him, but I know which one you're talking about.
I don't know who was Brian Dawkins or it was somebody from Philly. Because I remember the play really good.
Yeah.
Bush was running full speed. Man, they lit him up.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the day Reggie Bush died right there on that field in New Orleans. But that was a great game. But if USC would have beat Texas, Pete Carroll, like you said, Jay, he would have had a Super Bowl and a college championship. But Mac Brown, he got to see the Kim Kardashian. That's right.
That was a highlight. Hey, that was a highlight of Reggie Bush's career was getting Kim Kardashian.
Just think you were average Joe. You in college, and all of a sudden you make it to the pros, and you get to sleep with Kim Kardashian. Man, that's a dream come true. I mean, I want to argue. I want to argue with Shannon Sharp. I want to talk with him. We'll have a good show. But
we'll get him on here.
Man, Texas. I didn't like Texas, but I was mad that they won. I was upset. Man, I wish USC would have won. Maybe something spectacular would have happened, but we had Mac Brown. He was coaching. Pete Carroll. So we had two great coaches coaching. And Mac Brown still alive. He's still coaching.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Real good game. We need more games like that in college football.
Yeah, we really do. Man, that's a one for the ages, you know.
Yeah, it was.
Both those teams, Vince Young and Matt Leinart, both called it the best game, of all time. I mean, it really was. Because, I mean, people look back on it every year. Every year it comes up, you always see Sports Center, Bleacher Report, like, oh, on this day, 15 years ago, the 06 Rose Bowl was played. They're always going back and they're reminiscing this one just because of how good it was and all the star power it had at that time. A lot of these guys didn't do too well in the NFL, but at that moment in the college careers of all those guys, let's face it, guys, Vince Young was what people were thinking was going to be the next Mike Vick potentially, right? Reggie Bush was looking like he was going to be the next Barry Sanders, just how electric he was. He looked like the next coming of, Herschel Walker or somebody coming out of college. He had all the hype in the world. He won the Heisman. Not anymore. They got that struck down, but he won the Heisman at the time. And I mean, look, Matt Leinart, I know he didn't have a good NFL career, but he was good in college as well. So that's the thing too, is that three guys from the teams, Young, Leinart, and Bush, those were the three candidates for the Heisman as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw
I remember that.
We saw with like Kyle Trask and Mac Jones, the past college football season about that, but it didn't have quite the amount of hype around it though as this game did.
Yeah, a lot of.
That's because all those guys were getting basically blown out, and this game was actually a come from behind and a close game. Yeah. I mean,
let's not forget too. What was the other running back? Lindell White. He had a great game too. Another USC legend. He was phenomenal. USC he had a good game though. He had I think 3 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. During that game, he was good though.
He couldn't stop spitting on people in the NFL. You can't do that.
Nah. I think he said he had a lot of concussions. That's what really kind of messed him up in the end though.
Yeah, that's spitting on people too. That'll get you.
That too, yeah. But I mean, it's a big what if though. I mean, because for like you said, I'm looking here, man. Reggie Bush. I mean, he came into the league with the Saints. He didn't really do too much, honestly. He ran for only over 1,000 yards twice in his entire career. A lot of people kind of remember him more as a punt returner. To be fair, he did pretty good as a punt returner, but
he was just really small and fragile.
Yeah,
he was small and fragile.
In college, you can get away with that in college. You really can.
You can't get away with that in the pros, though.
Jay, I'm curious though. I wonder if because I mean, obviously the league's changed a lot since the 2006 season. A lot of the player types, a lot of body types have changed. Right. I wonder if now, like Reggie Bush or Vince Young, would be a lot more suitable for today's league. You know what I mean? Because there's
Reggie
a lot.
Bush, I think would have been a good. I think Reggie Bush would have been a good change of pace guy.
Yeah,
if you want to change of pace or a third down receiver or a third down running back. I would have put him in a third down or in a slot. Like I ought to put him in the slots now even. Anything like that. Anything where these are more of a specialty and rather than the main runner.
Right, yeah.
Probably would have been a benefit to both of those guys.
Yeah, and I mean with Vince Young, if they would have played him with like kind of like how they do with Lamar Jackson as a primary runner, as opposed to trying to throw the ball too much, who knows what could have happened with Vince Young, man? He was on Madden, so he can say that. We can put them on him, but other than that, what else did he do, right? He got paid a lot of money. He went broke too, I remember. So, but I know he's doing good now. So happy to see they're all doing good now, and we can always go back and look on this game and think of it as one of, if not the best college football game of all time. Some people have it up there as their number one, and I mean,
it's up there.
You can see why. It's got everything you want in a good football game. It's got heroics. It's got big plays. It's got anything you're looking for in a quality football game. That's the prime example. If I were to show someone in the last 20 some odd years a college football game to get them into the sport, that's the one I would go to first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's how you get new fans. That's how you get popularity. Yeah. And that they had a lot of people watching that game.
Before we go to the next topic real quick. Oh. So Frankie David just put up the Warriors Dallas game. Yeah. He put up the Warriors are beating them 110-95. What's real fast, not real long, but I think this Dallas team, I really thought they were going to be doing a lot better than what they're doing. This Dallas team is really, really struggling to get going.
Don't worry about the Mavericks. They're going to be all right.
Yeah, I hope so.
They got talent, man. They really do. They have some great talent. Luka he's going to be special. Porzingis, he's a good player.
They got
to figure it out. Yeah, so you got to stay healthy, of course. That's the main thing. But it's tough, though. It's tough in the West too, man. Because
it is. The West funky, man. It's really funky.
Yeah, the West.
From 1-8, just that fast.
Mm-hmm.
But Utah's running the West right now.
Yeah, Utah's looking real solid. As they're leading it right now. So
yeah, they are.
NBA is crazy though, with just how much star power is on each team now. It's crazy.
All right, what's our last topic, Logan?
All right, Justin Herbert wins Rookie of the Year.
Well, I'm gonna go on this.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't have got it if Joe Burrow wouldn't got hurt. We all know that. Joe Burrow, matter of fact, Cincinnati is horrible. Cincinnati is trash. Cincinnati sucks. Don't nothing come out of Cincinnati. This man basically
it's true, man. It's true.
Did good with the Bengals. Joe Mixon couldn't do it by himself. He couldn't do it by himself. I said in the beginning of the season, I said these words. If you do not have a line to protect Joe Burrow, he will be running for his life. And he did. He will get hurt. And people laughed at me and told me I ain't know what I was talking about. And the moment he got his head knocked off, oh man, how you knew that? You gotta have a line in the NFL. You have to. This is not college football no more. This is the NFL. You gotta protect him. You gotta protect that man. They want to try to compare him and Tua. You cannot compare Tua. Tua is just crap. But you gotta have protection for your boys. You gotta protect your quarterback. And if you don't protect them, you're gonna end up like Joe Burrow, both to win the Rookie of the Year. And then went to Justin Herbert. Now he did good too. I ain't gonna lie. Herbert did good when that dude, that quarterback, when I can't think of his name, when he went out with the Chargers, I said, "Oh man, this dude gonna fly." Man, Justin Herbert made me shut up. That's what he said. He told me to shut my mouth and watch me play, and I'm gonna win Rookie of the Year. And now that Joe Burrow is out, I'm telling you, Joe Burrow gonna do something next season. He's gonna do something next season. But I will say this before I shut my mouth. I hope Patrick Queen wins Defensive Rookie of the Year. I really hope he win it. And I hope Aaron Donald wins Defensive Player of the Year. Because if he don't, I'm boycotting the NFL. If you give it to TJ Watt, I'm not taking on TJ Watt. But if you give TJ Watt that Defensive Player of the Year, I'm boycotting the NFL. Chase Young ain't getting that. Chase Young ain't getting that. Because he couldn't do nothing to Tom Brady. That's why he ain't going to get it. So, but no, linebacker, you at USC. Linebacker U is USC. It's not LSU.
Shout out Phil Cross.
It's not LSU. TJ Watt ain't getting it.
That's what Frankie thinks. Frankie thinks he's gonna get it.
No, TJ Watt ain't getting nothing. And no, Jay, tell this man, linebacker U is USC. It is not no LSU. LSU is absolutely trash, and more trash.
I think that's 6 mil. I don't know.
I think all those. I think we're at 10.
All right. We made it, guys. We got to 10. We got double digits.
I got one more thing. I will get in. If Julio Jones gets traded, a fool told me today that he need to go play with Lamar Jackson. I say Lamar Jackson can't even throw the ball. So how is he gonna go to Baltimore? You better, if Julio Jones get traded, this is where I want Julio Jones to go. I want him to go to Cleveland. I want Julio Jones in Cleveland with Baker Mayfield, with Odell Beckham Jr. We going somewhere. We got our running back.
Cleveland ain't gonna have no cap space if they get him. They ain't gonna get no cap space.
You be quiet. That's gonna be danger.
It
would be. But look,
if they better win it though, or if they're gonna be like the Eagles, they're gonna be in cap hell.
You want to know something? You want to see? This is stupid, but it sounds good. Look, if I was Deshaun Watson, since he want to leave so bad, I'll go straight up the middle. Baker Mayfield is MVP next season. I'll go straight up. You want to get out of Houston, man? You trade him to Cleveland for Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham Jr. There you go. That's what you do.
Odell for Julio.
You want to leave? Go to Cleveland.
We're loving these comments, guys. Keep it up.
Yeah. You go to bed.
Shout out Big Phil and Frankie for keeping the chat room hot as always. Gotta love it. Let's keep it going.
All right, Jay.
Hey, here's my thing. I personally, I want to talk about Big Phil for a second. I was telling Big Phil a while back that if Burrow goes to to Cincinnati, which he did, I said his career is done. It's done because they don't have an offensive line like Big Shaw was talking about. Now listen, the boy's already torn every ligament in his freaking knee, and this is year one. This is year one. And let me ask you this. Do you really think that the Cincinnati Bengals are going to magically rebuild this line in like 1 year or maybe even 2 years?
It takes years for the line to be built. It takes years. Yes.
I'm telling you right now, he going to get hurt again. It's going to happen. I'm telling you right now, he going to get hit again.
Mm-hmm.
So if he even makes it to the end of the year, that'd be number one. That'd be goal one. Hell with being rookie of the year. Just make it to the end of your first season.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a shame though, because he is such a great talent. But to survive in Cincinnati, you got to be able to run.
Yep.
You got to run.
You literally in the jungle.
There's no pocket passer because there's no pocket in Cincinnati. No, hey, listen. Here's the joke. But in terms of Herbert, though, I love the guy, and he definitely deserved. What the hell was the question? What were we talking about, Herbert again?
He won Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
He should get Rookie of the Year. Obviously, Herbert, he's played a great season, and by technicality and of Burrow not having the people to throw to and having the crappy offensive line, the next man up is Herbert. Herbert has played a great season. And as a rookie, he stepped in, he took the reins, he had a whole new coaching change, and he ran with it, and he's doing well. So I tip my hat to Justin Herbert, man. Hey, like I said, I had him on my fantasy squad for a hot minute.
Oh yeah. Charles was right.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson did have a good year. But you got to give it to Herbert because Herbert was a field general, and a field general versus a wide receiver is like comparing apples to oranges. One is just a lot more responsibility, a lot more athletics versus just running a route and catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more to it. And I mean, you can't look at that position and look at this position You know, if you have one guy that's excelling, and what I think is the hardest position of football, and you got another guy excelling at the wide receiver game, the quarterback's going to take it every time. That's just
not always.
The majority of time.
I would say 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 times.
That's fair.
They need to get away from that. They need to get away from that because I'm tired of seeing quarterbacks winning. You know, Justin Jefferson, I said it before the season started. I said Justin Jefferson is going to have a better season than a quarterback, but we all know the award will go to a quarterback. Justin Herbert went about default. We know that. He didn't play. I don't think he should have won it, but my boy still should have won that award. But Justin Jefferson, he should have really won Rookie of the Year. Matter of fact, he did so good, he broke Randy Moss record. And I also like and I want to talk about CeeDee Lamb, that garbage receiver from the Dallas Cowboys. He said this, that he should have been drafted ahead of Justin Jefferson and Jerry Jeudy. No, sir. No, sir. You are not better than them two wide receivers. And Jerry Jeudy going to be a stud next season, too. He's going to be real good.
They give him a quarterback because Drew Lock ain't it.
That's what we need a good. Who is that trash? Who is that bum? What are you going to do?
Nothing. They need a quarterback in Denver if they want to be successful.
They need one. And Jerry Jeudy is good. So I don't talk about no CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb is trash. He plays for Dallas. Absolute trash. Matter of fact, CeeDee Lamb can go back. He ain't gonna play for the Saints. Let him go to the Saints. But I can see him. He suck anyway. Jerry Jeudy is the man. And one more thing before I go, I will say this: if the Jacksonville Jaguars, if they draft Devontae Smith first, I'm not watching the NFL ever again.
That's what Brett Favre said, Charles. That's who they think he should draft.
I wouldn't do it. Devontae Smith, don't go to Jacksonville. Don't go Eli Manning. Just get y'all quarterback and leave it alone.
Don't want him.
Hey, man, Freaky Davey over there clowning me, man. Talking about I had Jason Witten in my top 10. I had Jason Witten in my top 10.
Yeah, you did.
I did have him.
You had him in like 6 or something, right?
Jason Witten deserves to be in the top 10. There's no doubt about it.
For what, Jay? For what? You think this comes from a man that said Keelan Winslow Jr. is the best tight end all time?
I didn't say Keelan Winslow was the best tight end of all time. I said Tony Gonzalez.
No, you didn't, Jay.
Yes, I did.
Run. You know what, Sean? No, go run the tape. Go look at us on YouTube and watch our old videos. How about that? Along with all the viewers. There we go. Keeping it on track as always over here at Unscripted. Let me my thoughts on this one, and then we can wrap up the show. Justin Herbert, Rookie of the Year, heck of a season. He didn't even start. Let's not forget. I think it was Tyrod Taylor, wasn't it? Who was the starter for the Chargers in the beginning? But then he had something went wrong with him. Like the doctors messed up. They gave him a shot, and it messed up his arm or his legs or something. It was a freak accident.
No, his lung. They did his
lung. Yeah. They
did it on purpose. They wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. They did that on purpose. They know what they was doing. You know what you was doing, Doc.
You think the coach slipped him a note whenever they were in the training room, Sean?
Yeah. We don't want him to start anyway. We want the rookie to start. That's what they did. They ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm gonna say it. That's what they did. Now, that was me. I'd have sued the Chargers. I'd have sued the doctor.
I think he is. He better sue the doctor.
He didn't do it. He didn't do nothing.
I'm surprised, man. I don't know if he can. It might be something in his contract. I don't know.
But back to Cowboy fans, do they do stuff like that? Cowboy fans just don't do stuff like that. That's all.
But hey, at least the Chargers had something to be thankful for this year and had something to root for.
Yeah.
They have a good quarterback. For the first time since Phillip Rivers back in the day, he was doing really good over there. But when I'm looking at some of these stats here, he did really good for a guy that didn't even start in the beginning of the season.
Oh,
he threw for the most touchdown passes, most completions, and he was second most passing yards by a rookie all time. All time. Now we know it's a passing league, but for him to break these records, That put him a little bit over the top for me. Yeah, I get that Justin Jefferson broke Randy Moss's record. He was a Pro Bowler this season, and I think he was in top 5 in total receiving yards with around 14 to 1,500 off top of the head. So both of those guys are worthy of getting this award. You know, if it wasn't for that freak accident with Tyrod Taylor, Justin Herbert might not have started this season. He might have just rode the bench, and he would have been mentor. You know, he would have been like the young pupil on the bench, just writing down notes to start this next season or something. And
not wishing ill will or hurt on anybody. No. Honestly, for his career, Tyrod getting hurt was the best thing that ever happened to Justin Herbert. And I hate to say that about poor Tyrod.
It's a very unfortunate situation for Tyrod. Hopefully he's doing good now. Hopefully his lungs are back to close to 100%, and hopefully he can get back playing. But, I mean, look at some of the other guys here that were up for this award. I see James Robinson with the Jaguars, who we've talked about a little bit on the show, how he was kind of an underrated type of running back this season. I think he was going to win it. No, he didn't win it. I'm just saying he had a good season for the Jaguars when they didn't have many bright spots. Let's just be honest. I mean, if they are the number 1 overall pick, then they didn't have too much going for him. But at least they got a good running back. Did he go undrafted? I think he might have, and they might have just scooped him. Let me look it up real quick. But I think he went undrafted. Maybe that, or I'm just forgetting about this guy. But let me see real quick. Yeah, he signed as a free agent. So he didn't even get signed. He was undrafted. So great story for, undrafted. Oh, he was winning contention for Rookie of the Year. So that's a pat on the back end of itself. Let's see who else we got here. Jonathan Taylor for the Colts. He led all rookies and ranked 3rd in the NFL with over 1,000 yards. So pretty good season. The Colts were, they had a pretty decent season. I think they got to the wild card, or they were right there. They can improve a little bit more.
They can go after Matt Stafford, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that's where he might have been going too, but he ended up going to good old LA, or with the Rams, not the Chargers. Let's see who else is on here. Oh, and then Chase Young, who I think it was Phil that was saying he thought was his pick for Rookie of the Year. Let's see if I can find the comment here real quick. Y'all been doing great, leaving some great comments, guys. I love all this, but yeah. So I mean, all those guys. Chase Young was like the 2nd or 3rd overall pick in the draft. He had a lot of hype around him. He had a good season.
He had great hype. Now, if he would have beat up Tom Brady, he would have won Defensive Rookie of the Year. But I think that's going to Patrick Queen. That's who I think.
Patrick Queen was good in Baltimore. He was real good in Baltimore.
That's who I think.
It was Frankie David that he was talking about watching his defensive end.
I see. Here we go. Yeah.
Frankie.
Frankie thought, okay, yeah, Chase Young had a good season for a rookie. He really did. And I mean, I think he's only gonna get better too. In Washington, we saw that they've got potential. They still have a name. But that's all it is, man. Overall, all these guys had a really good season. James Robinson was the big surprise, being undrafted and being up on that list. So shout out to him. And heck of a season for Justin Herbert. Hopefully he can get the Chargers turned around and get them a couple more wins in the future as their franchise QB.
Oh, yeah.
All right, Mel, that's all the topics for tonight. We got through it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for joining in, and especially for all of our guys who are joining in our show in the comments. We love the interaction. We love to have you guys involved with our show. And once again, thank you to all of our followers, because we've gotten 1,000 on Facebook now. We're so excited. Thank you all for supporting our show. Find us Tuesdays and Thursdays, 9:00 Eastern time, Saturdays at noon. This Saturday is probably going to be a little later. I'm thinking around 5 or 6 Eastern time this Saturday. And look for us on YouTube under Unscripted. Look at Jay McLevin, Logan Landers, or Big Shaw. Find everything these guys are doing, plus our Unscripted podcasts. We're brought to you by BS3 Radio with Spreaker and Northeast Streaming Sports. You guys have a great night.